State calls Mr. Charles Patio. Mr. Patio, did you hear and understand the agreement that I just read it into the record?
Yes, sir.
And you're in agreement with that, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, Mr. Patio, now you provided your paycheck stub before this hearing started, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Your Honor, I want to offer State's Exhibit 1, Mr. Patio's current paycheck stub.
Okay. Let me get that pulled up. Has everyone had a chance to see that?
Um,
Ms. Hurst, do you have any objection to me admitting his pay stub into evidence?
No.
And Mr. Patio, do you have any objection to me admitting his pay stub into evidence?
No, ma'am.
Okay, State's Exhibit 1 is admitted.
Thank you, Judge. Mr. Patio, now in the paycheck stub that you provided the state, isn't it true your pay rate on regularly is $20 an hour when you're working regular hours?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and you do work 40 hours a week, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, on an average, how much overtime do you work a week?
On an average, 2 hours per week.
Per week. Okay. And do you get time and a half when you work overtime?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So if we do the calculation, you're working overtime at $30 an hour. Isn't that true?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, in the agreed temporary order that was signed on May 13, 2024, there was a double non-disclosure. Isn't that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You're shaking your head. What that means is that your address shall not be in the order because of safety concerns. Do you understand?
Right.
Okay. Do you have any safety concerns, sir?
I don't have any safety concerns.
Has an incident happened in the last couple of years that would warrant a non-disclosure?
Nope.
So going forward today, you don't need a non-disclosure? Your address can be disclosed to the other party?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Your Honor, pass the witness at this time.
Okay, just so that for the hearing, so it doesn't drag on all day, I'm assuming in the back, and I'm not trying to get into negotiations, but is what you're requesting now in child support the same as the number he previously heard? So he knows what he's responding to?
Yes, Your Honor. When I calculated guideline child support as to what he's making currently, I calculated $615 a month, and he's in disagreement as to that.
Okay, and just so we're all clear, that's based on what he just testified to, 40 hours a week with 2 hours overtime, or is it based on a different calculation?
It's exactly that. 40 hours a week. It's basically what he testified to. Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
Yeah. And Your Honor, I can solicit more testimony as to that to make it more clear. I'm sorry.
I just want to make sure, because otherwise he doesn't know what he's responding to when I give him a chance to talk. And so I just wanted to be clear and out in the open what the numbers are for everybody.
Yes.
Make things more clear.
But I'll ask a couple more questions,
Okay.
Judge, with your permission.
You may.
Mr. Patio, so if we calculate based on your testimony just now, where you're averaging 2 hours of overtime per week and you're working 40 hours at $20 an hour, one child in this case, 0 children outside this case, giving you credit for the $88 that you're contributing towards the health and dental, that brings your guideline child support at $615 an hour. $615 a month, isn't that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and are you in disagreement as to guideline child support?
Yes, sir.
Okay, why? Can you tell this court why you don't want to pay the guideline?
Because I feel like I'm responsible for the child. Like the child is with me more than 50% of the time. Like that's absurd.
Are you saying that the child is with you more than 50% of the time?
Yes.
More than,
Ma'am, be patient.
Now, when you say more than 50% of the time, can you name me the days that the child is with you? That
Yes, the child is with me every Wednesday, every Thursday, alternating Friday, Saturday, and Sundays, and then he's with me the entire summer, well, the entire month of July,
okay.
and we split holidays, Christmas, Thanksgiving, spring break, stuff like
Okay.
that.
All right, pass the witness, Shalan.
Okay, you may call your next witness.
Um, Ms. Hurst, can you state your name for the record?
Michelle Shalan Hurst.
Ms. Hurst, I don't remember if I asked you, you were in agreement as to the initial, the health and dental that I read into the record?
Correct.
Okay. Now, ma'am, in the agreed temporary order, there was a non-disclosure for your address as well.
Correct.
Are you wanting this to continue?
I do.
Why? Do you have any safety concerns, ma'am?
Yeah. We had prior incidents to where it was police called and, everything else. So I would like to be protected. Even though we're on good terms right now, I would never know what happened in the future.
Well, let me ask you.
I just want to point out, Mr. Deviation, there's an order from 2023 that had addresses. And that has pickup and drop off at her house. So this is a pretty big deal.
Yeah, Charlotte.
Okay.
So, Ms. Hurst, in the when you said the police was called, what was this within the last 2 years?
Yes.
Do you remember what month and year, to the best of your knowledge?
No, I really don't remember, but it had to be on the weekends when the child was needed to get picked up or dropped off. We always had a hassle, so that's why I always had to have my parents to either drop the child off or pick them up.
Okay. So was the police called last year?
No. Yeah, but it was because we was getting rowdy. So
So you called the police last year?
yeah, police have been called.
Last year.
Yes.
Okay. And do you remember why you called the police?
Because he wouldn't release the child.
And where did this happen?
I believe this happened at my house and at his house.
And both times the police were called?
Yes.
Okay. And when the police came, did anybody get arrested?
No. It was pertaining to the days on who get the child and if the child could stay or not.
Okay. So y'all were disagreeing as to the visitation?
Correct.
Okay. And so no one got arrested?
Nobody got arrested.
No one got charged?
No.
Okay. How was the matter resolved?
He was able to keep the child, I believe.
Okay. And then thereafter, he dropped the child off after that visit?
Correct.
Okay. Did he put his hands on you that day, or did he do anything towards you physically?
No.
Okay. But you feel that because of that incident, you need a non-disclosure?
Correct.
Okay. Can you describe what type of safety concern you have?
I just don't want to be harassed or attacked or anything due
You
to it. Yeah, but like I said, like I'm willing to drop it long as it don't get to that point anymore. Like I said, we're on good terms now, but I never know what's gonna happen in the future.
Has he ever, let me put it this way, has he ever physically done anything to you in the past?
Yes.
How long ago, what did he do?
I think when I filed that order in 22 and 23, I was attacked at the parking lot at a grocery store with his mom and him.
He put his hands on you?
Him and his mom did, yes.
And y'all were in public?
Yes.
Okay, was the police called then?
Yes.
And did he,
And they
was
both
anybody?
was arrested.
Okay. Do you know how that ended, how it was disposed in court?
We got the non-disclosure, and I had a protected order against them.
Okay. And that was on or about sometime in 2023?
That was 2016.
Oh, 2016? Oh, okay.
We shouldn't have this, and to be honest, like, I'll be honest with you, Mr. Deviation, if this is gonna hinge on a protective order, I wanna see documents because people's minds get dates wrong sometimes. And
Yeah.
as I said, this got a resolution in family court happened in May of 2023, so I don't want to relitigate issues that have been litigated
Okay.
already.
I mean, like I said, I
also
can
don't want to ignore something if there's a serious problem. So
like I said, yeah.
So, Ms. Hurst, these issues that you're testifying to here today, that was years ago, right?
Yes, sir.
Now, in the last 2 years, has a physical incident happened in the last couple of years?
No.
Okay. What are your safety concerns? Just harassment?
Correct.
Okay. Pass the witness, Your Honor.
what about the child support? Are you going to elicit any testimony on the child support?
Yes. Ms. Hurst, now, you heard that we calculated guideline child support. Is that something that's what you're requesting, the guideline child support here today, right?
Correct.
Okay. Pass the witness, Your Honor.
Okay, the state doesn't represent either of you, so I'm going to give you both a chance. If there's anything additional you'd like to say. Mr. Patio, is there anything else you'd like to say?
Yes, ma'am. So the incident in question was 2016.
Okay, enough. Unless someone's disputing that it's in 2016, I do not need to hear any more about it because you've had orders where no non-disclosure findings were made and the court did not find that providing information for the Texas Family Code section 105 was a problem. They didn't find it to be a problem in 2023. I'm not going to find it to be a problem in 2025 based on a 2016 issue. So I'm only looking at things since your last order.
Okay.
But if you have anything additional you'd like to say, not about a 2016 order, I am open to hearing it.
Right. So in the past couple of years, there hasn't been any instances. The only time the police had to be called is when it was my time to get my son and her parents wouldn't release my child. Like, other than that, that's the only issue I've ever had. Like, when it's time for me to get my son, I just want my son. Like, and I'm the one who called the police every time. It's never, it's not me being physical. I'm not fit to put up with it. When it's time for me to have my son, I just want my son. So instead of arguing and going back and forth, I have my papers with me. I call the police and I just wait for them to get them. Like, it's been an ongoing problem since the beginning of time with them people. Like, it's not her. Like, me and her don't never have no issues. It's always her parents. That's why this whole thing is with her parents, and it's never her.
Okay. Ms. Hurst, is there anything additional you'd like to say either about the non-disclosure issue or about the child support amount?
No, ma'am. I'm here for the guideline support.
Okay, it does look like, I don't know if everyone's looked at the prior order. No one asked me to, but I did look at it. Not sure I should be. It is a modified possession and access order with split week and alternating weekends.
Right.
Are you all following that order from 2023?
Yes.
For the most part, yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Does anyone, I don't even know what was pled for in 2023. Was child support addressed at all in that time frame?
No. It was just for the possession of the child.
Can I say something?
What would you like to say, sir?
Well, I don't mind the guideline amount of child support. That's fine. If she wants 615, she can have a 615. I just don't want my son missing his events, not his practices, not his games, not nothing, because they be keeping him from his stuff. And I spend way too much money on his extracurriculars for him to be missing.
Yeah, and the order is whenever you get the child, that's when you have time with him. Whenever I have my child, that's when I have time with him. And we already discussed that if he got practice, we'll take him if prohibited.
I said what I said.
Me too.
Okay. So sir, you're not objecting anymore to the guideline child support of 615, and you provide the insurance through your other source through the marketplace?
Contingent upon him missing practices and games.
She don't.
That's not before me, so unless she agrees to that, that doesn't help me. And this is not a negotiation at this point.
Judge, are you looking at the prior order?
Looking at prior order information, yes. And how it got to that point and what you did and didn't file. Is there anything additional you'd like to say, Mr. Deviation?
No, Judge, that the only thing is that modification is proper here. The last order was from 2014 and the income has changed by $100 or 20%.
I am finding that it's been more than 3 years and the income does vary by more than 20%, and the child support, well, the child support will vary by more than 20% or $100. I'm not granting the non-disclosure at this time, denying it. This doesn't mean people should misbehave or treat each other poorly. One, it's not appropriate. Two, ultimately, this is all about your children. But a non-disclosure is not going to prevent pickup and drop-off issues. That's something you all have to think about. You have to think about, sir, how bringing the police into this might affect your child. And ma'am, and I don't know what really is happening, but from what I'm hearing, it also sounds like maybe there's issues on both sides, and you all might want to consult lawyers to review your child support order and make sure you all understand it so that you're not wrongfully accusing either one of you on either side of not dropping off the child on time or picking up the child on time. That being said, I say this a lot, life happens to everybody though, and things are going to happen where you're both going to need some grace from each other, either because you have something that has to get done and you need someone else to watch the child, or vice versa, or just something critical might come up. Good, bad things happen that you just can't miss, and it might be during your visitation time and it might not be, especially with the way yours is kind of 50-50. It might happen more than it might happen in other orders. So hopefully you can all move past this hearing and work together. It sounds like you all sort of do. So hopefully you do actually, and hopefully this hearing doesn't drive a wedge between that all the more. And it's kind of the same with the extracurriculars. Your child is now 12?
Correct.
12. So yeah, I mean, he's at the age where it's not just you toting him places. Like, he probably has interests and cares, and some things he probably wants to go to, some things he might not want to go to. But keep that in mind when you do and don't drop them off. And again, I know things happen even under the best of circumstances where kids miss practices and kids miss games because things happen. And sometimes there's double book things and all sorts of reasons. But just remember that I'm guessing that you are participating in things that he's interested in, and just remember this is really ultimately all about Charles and not about each of you. That being said, I look closely at your prior order, and I am going to modify the child support, but I am going to deviate in light of the fact that this is basically an expanded order, and it is about 50-50, give or take. It is more than the standard possession order. He's not wrong. And so I'm going to order that Mr. Patio provide the health and dental support. Yes, so I'm ordering that you, sir, provide health and dental support through another source. And I'm going to order the child support at $475 per month, beginning May 1st of 2025, with the deviation because of the possession order from the 2023 order. And the state's going to draft the order based on my ruling, and they'll be circulating it to both of you through DocuSign shortly to review and sign off on. And then once you do, you'll be free to go. But thank you for coming in, and good luck with everything going forward.